Hello and welcome back to the channel, and we gotta get into it. Like, I honestly cannot wait to talk about where we are in the story right now. It's given me so much to think about, and it's actively changed my opinions on a lot of things within One Piece. As a matter of fact, a pretty significant opinion that was changed by me would have to be my favorite character, which is now Sabo. Sabo is the unsung hero of One Piece. Probably weren't expecting to hear that, but just walk with me and I promise I'll get us there. But guys, it's the end of the month and the end of the year, which means it's time for a word from our sponsor, Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. are both Japanese snack subscription boxes, and with Tokyo Treat you can look forward to the latest exclusive limited edition and seasonal Japanese snacks that are only available in Japan. And Sakura Co. is all about supporting local Japanese snack makers, so you can expect traditional and authentic Japanese snacks including teas and tableware. And like I said, it is the end of the year, so I hope you guys are ready to celebrate with Tokyo Treat's theme New Year's Snackin' Party, filled with snacks inspired by Japan's New Year's holiday Oshogatsu, such as the Lucky Red and White Kit Kat, Agimochi, and deep fried mochi snacks. And I gotta give a shout out to the Agimochi bites especially. They were delicious and probably my favorite part of this Tokyo box. They also have the CC lemon drink, which is filled with over 12 lemons worth of vitamin C, and it's also delicious. And for Sakura Co, the theme is going to be New Year's in Hiroshima. Fully immerse yourself in Hiroshima's cultural treasures and all of the delicacies therein. I especially love the lemon mochi and the New Year's senbei, and it went really well with the matcha adzuki tea that comes with the Sakura Co box as well. And you can complete the cultural experience with the traditional Japanese wrapping cloth, the Neko Furoshiki. And as always, you can read through the booklets that they send to learn more about Hiroshima or any allergy information that you may want to know about the snacks as well. So if you're like me and you want to taste all of this for yourself, or if you want to get a really nice gift for someone you love during the holiday season, check out the link in my description and use code Mugiwara to receive $5 off your first Tokyo Treat or Sakura Co box. A very special thank you to Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co for sponsoring this video, and an equally special thank you to you for watching this video. And with that, we are back to the show. So right off the bat, Sabo has got to be the best character in One Piece, or at least he's my favorite character, because here's the thing. Sabo pulled up to Mary Joy, saw his dog Kuma, and he just rose hell. He did not care. He didn't care about anything. He saw Kuma going through all that suffering. Sabo didn't have to understand. Like, everybody was asking questions like, why would Kuma do this? Why does Sabo did? Sabo was just like, listen, that's my boy. We getting him out of here. Weren't they calling Sabo like the Flame Emperor at one point too? Like, shout out to Sabo, bro, because like I just still can't forget how in the chapters we just read, just not too long ago in the story, Dragon was telling Kuma like, oh, I guess Ivankov got captured. And I think Kuma's response was just like, people change or something. I was like, what? I had to read it again. Like, Dragon's just in a casual conversation with Kuma, telling him how Ivankov got captured and he's now an Impel Down. And Kuma's response was something like, people change. Like, if you get captured and you're in the Revolutionary Army, they're not coming to get you, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Maybe they got too much to lose. I don't know, but they don't typically seem to care that much. But not Sabo, all right? Sabo pulled up into Mary Joy and he rose hell. He doesn't care now that he's been painted as like the King Cobra assassinator. It doesn't matter. He pulled up and he saved his dog Kuma. Which, of course, now that we know the extent to the suffering that Kuma had to endure, that is just that. Like, I appreciate that, Sabo. Thank you for doing all that you could for your friend. Another main takeaway from chapter 1103 would be, listen, still, Adam Sandler, you cannot fool me, all right? In the last chapter review that we did, I think it was for chapter 1100, in the chapter that we see Kizaru and Sentomaru dancing with Bonney and Vegapunk, and I think that was supposed to tease, like, you know, maybe these feelings that he's having, maybe they're a little bit deeper. Maybe he's not all about his job. Maybe there's other things that this guy cares about. And for me, it just really reminded me of Adam Sandler's character in Click. You know, you guys ever seen that movie? Because in that movie, Adam Sandler is just so addicted to working and like trying to move up in his job that when he finds a magic remote that can fast forward him to the deadlines that he needs to get through, he ends up taking full advantage of that. But unfortunately, every time he fast forwards, he leaves a version of himself behind to be on autopilot. And this guy only cares about work. So autopilot Adam Sandler is basically just a shell of a man that can only keep working. And he progressively spends just less and less time with his family until the end of the movie. It looks like everything's gonna end really sad because he can't break the cycles of autopilot. No matter how much he wants to reach his family, he's a man trapped inside this persona of someone who doesn't care and only wants to get the job done. But at the end of the movie, Adam Sandler realizes that the most important thing in the world is family and everything else needs to come second. And I just know that Kizaru is having a similar moment right now. Like, yeah, Luffy's attack, it definitely stunned him, knocked him out, but he's up now, he's not doing anything. And he was thinking of Sentomaru and Bonney. I think there was a panel that showed him thinking of both of them. I'm not here to power scale and be like, you know, see, he could definitely take Gear 5 Luffy, you know, he wasn't really knocked out. I don't care about that. The point that I'm trying to make is Adam Sandler does not want to be doing these horrible things, but he doesn't yet know how to break out of autopilot. I think that's what we're watching right now. So in chapter 1103, when Luffy needs some food so he can get back to his regular Gear 5 state, and it shows a bunch of food that basically came out of nowhere, the only two people that I can think of that could have helped in that situation is Swamp Person or Adam Sandler. And I think Swamp Person is a little more realistic if I'm being honest, but at the same time, I want nothing more than for Adam Sandler to finally get his act together. Another thing we learned in this chapter is that the world government is, well, we knew that they were evil, but God, they are just the worst people ever. And it's implied that Saint Saturn himself might actually have been the one that took Jenny to be his wife. And listen, I said in one of the chapter reviews that I did that I hope we never find out who it is, because there's no way Oda can deliver me the bloodlust that I want for the person who did it, which is something I stand by the way. I don't think, even if it is Saint Saturn, I don't like, I can't think of a way that he could be taken out of the story in a satisfying enough manner for me. He's also the person that experimented on Bonney as a child, so whether or not he's the guy who took her to be a wife or not, he's definitely the person that performed experiments on a child and then gave her an incurable disease. So he's awful anyway. And also there's this nice moment where you see Kuma left a sapphire behind for Jewelry Bonney, and it's just like, even like through most of this chapter, dude, I was literally like, you know, the Naruto crying meme, the one where after he learned that spoiler died, he was eating the popsicle, the sea salt ice cream ass popsicle, looked like it was from Kingdom Hearts, and he's eating that popsicle, and the tears are just running down his face. His face isn't really emoting, but the tears, oh, they're falling. That was me reading most of this chapter. It was heartbreaking, and I don't know, seeing somebody who's so at peace with everything, all the horrible things happening, as long as one person is safe, is just so heartbreaking. And it's even more heartbreaking when you realize that Bonney didn't know about any of this until literally like a couple minutes ago when she went through all of Kuma's memories. So from her perspective, her dad just effed off and never said anything to her ever again. And then for Bonney to become a pirate for the express purpose of finding her father, only to have arrived here at this point in the story where she has access to all of her father's memories and then sees how much things have just been awful all along. And I gotta say also, Saint Saturn twisting the knife like that by saying that he was the one that gave her Sapphire Scale, that's just, like, he didn't need to do that. Like, the Celestial Dragons and the Gorosei, like, they are turning into mustache twirling villains that are just, like, they're don't get me wrong, they're not hack villains. Like, I believe I will hate all of them once we get to know all of them better. But it's just like, why would you do that? She's like a 10-year-old child. Like, what do you gain by flaunting that you're the one who gave her an incurable disease? Like, I don't know. Seems pointless, but everything they do seems pointless. The world government is low-key stupid. Now, I wanna talk about this. They truly are dumb. Like, what are they doing making experiments to try and create a different Nika? You wanna make another one of those? Why would you do that? What's up, guys? Editing Mookie here, and I just had to clear some things up. For one, there's not really any evidence inside the chapter that the world government was trying to actually literally create a new Nika. Rather, they're doing all these experiments to see if it's possible to give people devil fruit powers who haven't eaten a devil fruit. And my thing with that is they created a situation where Bonney can basically become another version of Nika. Like, they didn't try a less broken power to try and experiment into this child. Like, what about the Marimara no Mi or the Ice Devil Fruit? Like, where were the devil fruits that have a hard counter in case this child goes rogue? And why would you give this child the ability to transform into any future that she sees as possible? And that same child has a father that's a buccaneer, one of the only person actually in the entire One Piece world that definitely can tell her what Nika was actually like. So they've literally created this situation, this hilarious situation where this 10-year-old child can now become a second Nika. Besides the fact the first Nika, the crackhead that is actually giving everybody these problems, he's still running around doing everything that he's doing. Like, it just doesn't make sense. If they were doing experiments to see if it was possible, what Foxy's fruit would have been better. Something ridiculous, low stakes. Why did they start off with something so broken? I just wanted to clear that up. I know a bunch of people will be in the comments and be like, they didn't actually want to create a different Nika, that's just what happened. Well, then but that's what happened though, isn't it? That's what happened. Once Bonney sees Luffy turn into Super Saiyan Bugs Bunny, she's gonna be like, Me too. And then what? Then what? For that matter, if you know that Nika is a rubber person, why would you not immediately assume that this crackhead from the East Blue might have eaten the mythical devil fruit that would allow him to become Joy Boy? More than that, though, let's say that, you know, there was no way for them to know for sure that, you know, Luffy was actually Joy Boy, or let's say the Buccaneer teachings about Nika being a rubber man, let's say that the world government don't know anything about that. They really should have stopped that crackhead before he broke into Eni's lobby. But when he broke into Eni's lobby, there's no reason for them to not send everything they have after this guy. He broke into Eni's lobby, beat up Lucci, and took the only person in the world that can read the poneglyphs. This was One Piece before hockey. What were they do? They should have sent everybody after this guy. If it were me and I really didn't want somebody to find the One Piece, I'd make sure there was no way anyone ever could. I'm sure there's just so many other examples of them being sorry. If you guys think of any other examples of how the world government has been sorry or just stupid, please remind me in the comments, because that's all I can think about. Case in point, while Saint Saturn is threatening this child, he rambled for so long it created enough time for Kuma to show up himself. And the final panel is them teasing us with Kuma punching Saint Saturn, which God, I needed to see so bad. And I feel like Oda might not do this based on, you know, just how he likes to mess with us, but I really hope the very next panel, like as soon as we get to the next chapter, it is just Kuma landing that punch, like right in his face, and I want Saint Saturn flying through multiple islands, like when Sanji kicked Queen. Did he get kicked through multiple islands, or did he just get kicked off Onigashima? He got kicked a long ways away. That's what I want for Saint Saturn. I want Kuma to punch him and just send him away. Send him straight to hell for all I care. But it was really sweet. I thought that was a very dramatic situation. It was building up to the point to where Bonney had literally basically just given up. And she thinks she might even be better off dead. But that's when Kuma, her father, swoops in, saves her, and then hopefully lands the best punch of the entire series. It was so awesome seeing him show up and reunite with his daughter. Whatever is left of Kuma, that is yet to be seen, but he's got enough of himself to go to where his daughter needs him. And there was hockey in that final panel. It looks like when he was punching him, like at least that's what it looked like to me, maybe not. But if he's using hockey, then I'm pretty sure hockey is like your willpower, right? So like your will, like a robot. Wait, can robots use hockey? Like, does C-3PO have observation hockey? No, I think there's still a soul in Kuma. I don't know how much there is, but even if it's just 1%, that 1% was enough to make him be the father that Bonney needed one last time. But I just remember a couple chapters ago, it was explained to us that Kuma has a self-destruct bomb inside of his body, and it's just like, what? Why would you say that? What possible reason could there be to tell us that Kuma has a bomb inside of him right now? The name's Gun. Chekhov's gun. Like, there's no way we're not seeing Kuma explode, right? Like, we know that that's coming. I don't want that to happen, but it's just, there was no reason for them to tell us that if it wasn't gonna happen. Yeah, Kuma deserved more, man. And, you know, I'm glad that it looks like he's at least going to end his life on his own terms. You know, what little solace that is. But it's also pretty good to know that hopefully if he gets a glimpse of Gear 5 Luffy, he will know that Nika is real, Nika is here, and the world is just about to be changed for the better. But that about does it for this chapter review, guys. Please let me know in the comments if I missed anything or if you want to talk about anything else. And let me know who your favorite character is, because as I said before, for me, it is Sabo. Going forward, until somebody else does something really cool, I'm about to buy a Sabo shirt. I swear. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being interested, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.